You're listening to the Night Demon Network. Go to nightdemon.net/subscriber to unlock more exclusive content.
Hello, and welcome to the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast. I'm your host, Nesbit, and today we're going to jump right back into Night Demon's 2024 tour, opening for King Diamond. Also on board our Overkill, great lineup. So let's get back into it. This is the King Diamond tour.
So next day, St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis is the factory. 3,000 capacity, so even bigger than this place in Cincinnati here. So St. Louis, Missouri, it's about a 5-hour drive. Sometimes on those drives that are a little bit long, we would do like 2 hours after the show, drive somewhere 2 hours away, stay there. Then you can sleep in, get breakfast at the hotel, and go off to the show. Maybe a couple-hour drive or something like that, 2-3 hours.
This was a pretty cool show. There was a shitload of people at this gig, and it was kind of at like a nice, newer kind of venue, but it was very large, and it had a huge stage, which was very, very helpful on this tour. I mean, King Diamond has such a huge set piece, and Overkill has such a large backline that a lot of times we were really pushed to the front of the stage, to the point where sometimes we were wondering how we would even get the drum kit on stage, which is crazy to think about, how large the venues were on this tour. That's how much gear was actually on this tour as a whole.
So this venue obviously used to be some sort of factory. But yeah, 3,000 capacity, man. Pretty big place. St. Louis has always been a weird one for us. Even on some bigger tours, we've never had that great of, turnouts, or I don't know what it is. It's just one of those places. It's kind of just doesn't work. I don't know for us. But anyway, here we are with King Diamond. Different story. The factory at the district is what they call it here. One of those places a bit out of town, like on the outskirts of town. But yeah, big ass place, good times.
Takes a day to love.
This set list was pretty good, though. Prelude, Outsider, Screams in the Night. Hallowed Ground, we decided this was kind of an audible here, but it worked. Howling Man, Ritual, Escape from Beyond, The Chalice, Night Demon. Just a 30-minute banger of a set, kind of covering, a lot of the band's career here in 30 minutes, which is always very hard to do. But this is when we started changing up the set a little bit. fucking right, St. Louis! Adding Hallowed Ground was a cool thing, right there between Screams and Howling Man. I just remember this being a really, really powerful gig, and having all that stage room and all that ability to run around just really, really felt good. I spent a lot of time at the merch booth on this tour, specifically on this night, I can remember, and had a lot of great interactions with fans. Some people that came out from surrounding areas or Kansas City.
I have one weird stick-out memory from the St. Louis show, and it's that there were stink bugs everywhere. So I don't know what attracted them in or whatever, but yeah, they were just flying around, crawling over everything. So I remember, trying not to drop merch boxes on him, or kind of shooing him off my equipment and stuff. So I don't know. Is it just that time of year? Maybe it's a thing. But that was just a weird little memory. But it was a great show. Nice modern venue, space for everything, and the staff were really cool. So, overall, it was a really, really good show.
So now we're going backwards. We're going back east to Kansas City, to the wonderful Midland Theater. Now this place was a cool venue. Yeah, the Midland Theater, man, this place is one of the most beautiful venues of the tour. Classic, old school, Baroque, whatever you call it. I don't know. I wouldn't say Art Deco, but just that really gaudy kind of style. Tons of shit to look at inside the building. I mean, super ornate designs on the walls, chandeliers, all that kind of stuff. Red velvet seats, red velvet curtains, and all that. So really, really cool place.
So the next show we did was in Kansas City, Missouri. We have not been to Kansas City in a while. Kansas City was a major hotspot for us for a long time. Kansas City's a cool place because there's anybody within a 3-hour radius would normally come to Kansas City for shows because there weren't a lot of things coming directly to their towns. So it was always a really good meeting spot for people to come and see metal shows. There was a club there called the Riot Room that was amazing. It was a bit of an underplay as far as not being a huge venue, but there wasn't a lot of mid-level venues in Kansas City for many years. So you'd have smaller bands play at this place, and you'd have much bigger bands play at this place because they couldn't fill the super large places. So it was always a good home for bands, especially punk and metal bands. We had been there on almost every tour that we had done, whether we were headlining or it was a support tour. The shitty thing is that the Riot Room had closed in recent years because again, somebody may have to look this up, but I don't know if it was a fire truck, a semi-truck, some big vehicle crashed into the venue right where the stage area is and just demolished this building. It's a real shame because it left a real hole in the scene in Kansas City for many years.
Kansas City has always been a good spot for us. We usually play, there was a club there that unfortunately closed down a little while ago that we always used to play. It got hit by a car a couple of times or something like that. But then eventually just shut down after COVID, as a lot of places have.
So now we're back with King Diamond. Obviously, we're going to play a big-ass place. We played this place called the Midland Theater. This is a beautiful place in downtown Kansas City. And it's a really old theater, and I believe it's known to be haunted. There's a lot of creepy paintings in the mezzanine. Really wonderful room, though. Very old style. I believe it was built kind of, there's a bunch of theaters in the U.S. that were kind of built right before the Great Depression in the late 1920s. And I think this was one of them. It was just a cool place. I like places like this where you're able to walk around and kind of get a good vibe of the history of the place. And that's how most of the day went for this.
Because, we were loading in around 3:00 on this tour, not too early. A lot of times, unfortunately, we spent just kind of waiting around. The good thing was we could always kind of get in and get the merch set up, and Laura could get on the lights and start kind of running some stuff or learning the board, whatever it was that we were using that day. J2 could get on the soundboard, sort of talk to the sound crew. Anyway, just, meeting everybody, kind of getting everything sort of, pre-set up as much as we can. A lot of times we were waiting on Overkill to do whatever it was that they were doing for all the time that they had to set up and sound check. A lot of times we ended up just fucking having like 30 minutes to get up on stage, set up, sound check before doors. But there were times, we got to a point where, management, King Diamond's tour manager and stuff, they were noticing what was going on, and they would either give us, if it was getting too close to doors and they knew there was time, they would push doors, which was nice, to give us a little bit of time before anybody came in the venue to get our thing going.
The dressing rooms were really small, and kind of how they built things back in the day. A lot of these places were built for plays, or acoustically they were, besides the ornate beauty of the architecture internally, I don't think these places were built for modern live sound. So I don't know, a lot of these venues don't sound too great with amplified heavy metal. But this venue did get it right. It did sound good when I was watching the other bands. But really, they're built for stage plays, and the dressing rooms definitely reflected that. Pretty small and cramped, but it does have a charm to it.
Something about this tour that was a recurring theme is we played very, very nice venues. A lot of theaters. King has a lot of production, and the only kinds of venues that can really accommodate the kind of production that he has are proper theaters that have plays and things like that, or more upscale type places. And whenever you put a metal show in a place like that, the vibe is always off. I find when there's seats, for example, people tend to use them, and it kind of sucks as a performer, in a high-energy band, who wants to feed off the energy of the crowd and everybody's sitting down. And then, I guess heavy metal's born in the underground and dirty and dingy place. Now, that's not nice to play nice venues, but, when you're playing heavy metal in a place with velvety red seats and, these elegant statues of whatever fine art, it's a weird vibe. It doesn't really match the music. And this is one example where two worlds collided in Kansas City, where, crowd just, we play first, it's a long night. 3 bands is when it starts to be a long night, sort of, for a lot of people. We're the first of 3. We're the warm-up act. And by the time, when we go on, it's pretty early. I believe we were going on at like 7 o'clock or something really early on in the night. And it was a little challenging sometimes to get the crowd on their feet. And this is one night that it was a little bit of a slower audience reaction, but Armand and Jarvis have their signature thing where on the final song they run out into the crowd. And I think this was the first time that tour that happened, and just people didn't expect it or know what to do. And I think it threw everybody for a spin when it happened. And I just remember seeing Armand running across the seat, walking across the seats, and it was a sight to behold. But it's at the end of the day, that's what makes people remember the show. That's one of the things that make people remember you anyway. And I think we definitely made an impression on people that night.
And yeah, but again, seated, people start out sitting down, and then once we get going, we usually end up getting them on their feet. So, it doesn't really stop us, but it does kind of put a damper on things sometimes, because there are those fans that just want to sit there and wait till their band, be it King Diamond or Overkill, and just kind of sit and just stare at us like we're some kind of weird band that doesn't belong there. But those are the kind of people that challenge us to just work harder. And by the end of the set, we usually got them convinced that we are a force to be reckoned with.
The back hallway behind the stage was very narrow. And I remember walking, I think I went to catering to get some dinner. And King was there doing some interviews, I guess, or something. We never saw him without makeup on the tour. But he kind of popped out from behind this road case and kind of spooked me, which was what I was holding a plate of food. I almost spilled it, which was pretty cool because, again, we're kind of early on in the tour here, and he had a real lightheartedness to him and made things really fun when really the tour was kind of stressful because there was a lot of moving parts and a lot of people involved. But, him being the artist, he always made things fun for us. And that was really cool. That was really heartening.
But yeah, well, it was one of those great killer venues. We were right in the heart of downtown Kansas City. Probably had some good barbecue that day, as Kansas City is famous for their barbecue. So, part of being on tour for me is enjoying the local cuisine and getting the flavors of the city.
We had a lot of friends come out. Friends from Tulsa come out to this. Brian Horton specifically. Friends in Kansas City. Friends from out in Wichita, Kansas. This was a really good one. One cool thing about this is that there were stairs. There were these two small staircases on either side of the stage. No barricade, right? Because it's an old style theater. And it was actually seated, which was kind of weird. But it was fine. It totally worked out. We had learned that as much as we hate seated shows, we loved seated shows on this tour because it kept people kind of in their seats. It kept them engaged, as opposed to like an open floor plan, just people start talking to their friends, walking around, getting beers, that kind of thing, But so they had these small staircases, and one thing that me and Armand always like to do is go into the crowd, especially during the song Night Demon. And, when you're playing these huge stages and there's a huge barricade in front of you, a lot of times you're not able to do that. But with this, we kind of had it worked out. And at this point, we had really become tight with this guy named Matt Brayton. And Matt was one of King Diamond's personal security, but he wasn't kind of the one-on-one guy that was with King all day long. He was kind of the security of the tour, where his main job would be to kind of look after the general security of the bands and crew. And so I believe it was at one of the other shows where we went to the audience and he kind of brought it to our attention, like, look, guys, if you want to do that, that's cool. Just let me know so we can make it safe for you and that the venue staff kind of knows what's going to happen. And I thought, well, that's pretty cool of him, And so we told him, hey, look, there's these little staircases on the side that go right into the audience. So we want to do this tonight. So he's like, all right, fuck yeah, let's do it. He briefed the security on what's going to happen. And so during the song Night Demon, me and Armand just ran down these little stairs and up the aisles. And that's one thing that's cool about a seated show is that the aisles are always clear. So we got to go all the way up to the back soundboard and run up and down these aisles and jam. And it was super cool. And, I'll have to check the video. I'm sure we're going to have this for the subscribers, but it was cool. And again, having the aisles, being able to do that is really a nice thing because it gives us clearance. One of the hardest things about going into the audience and doing this stuff is making your way back to the stage, especially for me. Armand's usually coming up after me because I have to go back and sing that last verse and chorus or bridge and chorus. So I have to really time it right and get back. Most of the time I get back just right in the nick of time to do it. Sometimes I'm maybe a couple seconds late. I'm rarely, if ever, early. So having that was cool. But yeah, this was a really great show. We had a really good time. It was good to see friends. And we're off and running on this tour at this point and feeling good, getting comfortable playing in front of some bigger audiences and being smashed to the front of the stage and all that. And just really making the most out of it.
Well, that's it for this week and the King Diamond Tour. Check out nightdemon.net for more info on everything Night Demon, including how to become a Night Demon subscriber. You can check out all the bonus content, video, and images from this tour, plus tons of other content from past tours. There's like full shows, tons of full shows, unreleased audio tracks videos. Like, we've got the full St. Louis show that we talked about. We have a video of that up there for this week. Everything you need to know about becoming a subscriber is on nightdemon.net. Until next week, this is Nesbitt signing off.
Thanks for listening to the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast. Head over to nightdemon.net, click on the subscriber tab, and sign up to access exclusive weekly bonus content. If you would like to donate to support the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast, you can do so through PayPal at paypal.me/nightdemonmetal. Additionally, if you have not already done so, please subscribe, like, rate, and review the show on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts.
All hail, Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast listeners. This is Dusty Squires chiming in to tell you about my brand new signature sticks from the London Drumstick Company. I've dreamt of having my very own drumsticks ever since I was a wee lad, and LDC made that a possibility for me. Founded in 2016 in London, England, the birthplace of heavy metal, the London Drumstick Company has trailblazed a path through the music industry and taken the drummer world by storm. When I met them for the first time, they knew their product was going to withstand the beatings of a Night Demon show. They took the time to work with me on getting everything just right. The balance and weight of my sticks are the same no matter what, and the durability is bar none the best I've ever had. I know my sticks will last through the set night after night. I'm truly honored to work with a company that caters to their players the way LDC does. Their innovation and attention to detail is what separates them from the rest of the stick makers out there. Their custom stick sleeves are unbelievable and really make the entire presentation complete. Wait until you see the design they came up with for me. It blew my mind and was a surprise to say the least. They have all kinds of amazing swag, including hoodies, t-shirts, drummer shorts, drum keys, stick bags, towels, face masks, practice pads, and much, much more. Even if you're not a drummer, you can be a part of Demon history and order my brand new signature sticks direct from their website. How cool is that? And to top it off, the London Drumstick Company are giving an exclusive offer to the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast listeners. Go to londondrumsticks.co.uk and receive a 15% store-wide discount using promo code DEMONSTICKS. All capital letters, no spaces, Demon Sticks. DEMONSTICKS. I can't thank everyone there enough for the opportunity to be a part of their family and for them trusting me with their amazing products. See you metal maniacs on the road very soon. And yes, the wood chips will be flying.
Greetings, boils and ghouls. This is your comrade, the Crypt Keeper here, reporting dead from the sanctuary of the strange. Tonight's macabre myth is a fright-filled feature, one overflowing with monsters, madness, and magic.
Visit our website at monstersmadnessandmagic.com to stay up to date on all the dark dealings within the sanctuary of the strange. Enjoy the show.
Hey Metalheads, I'm Mark and I host Metal Forge. Let me tell you about the show. The Metal Forge features the best underground metal from all over the world. We spend every week with a different artist with interviews, in-depth conversations, and most of all, the music. We also feature audience interactivity where you can submit your questions to the upcoming guests. New episodes are out every Friday at noon Eastern Time at metalforgeradio.com or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Want to know what's going on in the world of music? Then tune in to the Nothing Shocking podcast, a non-genre based, all-ages friendly rock and roll program. Join us weekly for interviews with all your favorite rock stars from the mainstream to the underground. You can find us at nothingshocking.libsyn.com or anywhere you download podcasts.
Okay, metalheads, you've been complaining that there has not been a channel that plays all of the heavy metal videos from past, present, and future for years and years at this point. Well, that time is over. Heavy Metal Television is back. HeavyMetalTelevision.net is the website. Go there. You can see videos playing 24/7, 365, all the time, all the best from the old school, the new school, and everything in between. Check it out, HeavyMetalTelevision.net. It is where the metal is.